flabbergasted. I am flabbergasted. I hate that word, but it best describes what I've been thinking all day long about the ongoing, still happening saga of Zidware, John Papaduke, Magic Girl, Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland, Alice in Wonderland, pre-orders with tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, bankruptcy looming, and now I am flabbergasted. Episode 167 of Coast to Coast Pinball. Let's go. Welcome to Coast to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. This is a podcast commentary. I'm a man out of quarters. So I was sitting here at my computer last night doing some work on show notes for what I thought might have been a show last night, but was going to be a show tonight that's got totally blown apart. And I got a text message from someone who hopefully will be coming on the show very soon. And he said, "Oh my gosh, have you seen what's happening with J-Pop?" And I said, no, and I jumped on the pin side and I didn't see anything yet, so I jumped in my email and I had an email forwarded to me by a friendly listener, and it blew my mind. So myself and said potential guest of Coast to Coast Pinball texted back and forth a little bit about how absolutely crazy this email was that was now being sent out to the people, the investors, the people with money invested into Zidware, into John Papaduke's games, and money that's been out there for 4 years. So in a nutshell, here's what the pitch is, as best I can throw this out there. John's admitting he's broke. They don't have any money. Zidware has no money. Zidware cannot move on, cannot pay their bills, cannot produce the games. And he has found what he thinks is a great solution here by finding a third party, or another party at least, third party from the customers, Zidware, and now they're the third party, who is going to come in and finish the project, the Magic Girl project. They will build the games and save the day, in their opinion. So what he's asking, basically, is that anybody that has money into these games sign a form, a legal document, I believe, saying, I will take my money and move it, if it's in Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland or Alice in Wonderland, and move it towards Magic Girl, or if I have money in Magic Girl, it's already there, and I will move it dollar for dollar into the $16,000 Collector's Edition Magic Girl. Here's option number 2. If I have money, let me actually stop. Also, by doing so, I'm going to sign this form saying I won't sue John or Zidware, as it may be, for a certain amount of time. I will not, hold them at fault for a certain period of time. The word patience gets thrown around quite a bit in this, interestingly enough. And there's other options. Second option, which maybe is the most mind-blowing part of the entire thing to me. Option number 2 is, if you have money in Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland or Alice in Wonderland, you can move it to this new game that's been announced now, Magic Girl Classic, which is a to-be-determined price point of either between $10,000 and $12,000. We're going to round up on this show tonight. And when I saw that, I thought, well, that's actually not the worst thing in the world, because then I might have leftover if I had $16,000 in this game. Oh, no. Time out, folks. If you're doing that option number 2 there, your money does not convert dollar for dollar. Your money converts dollar for half dollar. And when I first read this email, it said 1:2. And I didn't see the full letter until later, but I saw just the form where you had to sign off and choose that as an option. And I said, wow, they're going to double people's money? So maybe they're trying to funnel people into this classic game, which I'm guessing would be easier to build. So for a few moments, I thought, oh, cool. And the person I was texting with was like, no, dude, they're saying that you're getting half your money. And I'm like, there's no way. And I didn't believe him. In fact, when I stopped texting this person, I still kind of thought, no, I'm right, he's wrong. I was wrong. I actually sent a message to another Pinsider and said, hey, because someone who I knew had read it, have you read this? Are they doubling the deposits if you buy the Classic, or are they halving the deposits? And he and I sort of decided at the time they got to be doubling deposits. 1:2 looked like multiplication to me. 1 into 2. I don't know. No, wrong. Because in the longer letter it says, example, a $6,500 deposit equals a $3,250 credit for this option. Excuse me? We'll get back to that. Option number 3 is, hey, if you still want the zombie game or Alice in Wonderland and you don't want a Magic Girl game of either sort, you can just sit back on your hands and hope that we get around to that. That's option number 3. Please choose. And remember, you can't sue me once you do choose. Wow. Okay, so I will say this. Let me be as clear as I can be. It's a good thing that John has realized the end was nigh. We were there. It was over. The wall was in front of him. There was no more money. Nobody was going to send any more money. And he wasn't going to be able to build these games. That's good. And it's good that he has looked for outside help. Because he wasn't going to do it on his own, so he needed someone to help. The problem here is this little thing we call pinball doesn't have all that many players in the game. And it has even fewer players who can actually build a machine, let alone dozens, hundreds of machines. So, as I've read this whole letter about 5 or 6 times, and as I've watched the Pinside thread just explode, I think I have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. And I will, if I was trying to tell the story to somebody who hadn't been following along, I would say, well, a guy with really good intentions who thinks really highly of his designs set out to build amazingly high-end boutique machines at a time period where the industry wasn't all that exciting as far as new games was going, and he cashed in on that because he had a great vision and an artwork idea, and he took in a lot of money, and he tinkered and tooled and designed and trademarked and patented his way into the poorhouse and spent all the money and never actually built anything. And he takes tangents to design other games and copyright things and throw up websites for potential games down the road and bring foam core unlicensed games of big licenses to trade shows, and can't believe it when the big boys in town take said license and build a real game out of it. And now that he's broke, a customer of his with a lot of money, apparently, or at least with some sort of business acumen, has come in and said, I will save the day. We will get these games built. And it has put this plan together. And in all of the planning and all of the talking and in all of the number crunching, I don't think anybody stepped back and said, so how's this going to play to the public? How is this going to go over? And if they did, I'm guessing they thought, or at least they said to themselves, people are going to be so happy that we're going to build this game, they'll take it. They're going to be thrilled. Because I really think when John sent this out at like 1:30 in the morning East Coast last night, 10:30-ish my time here in San Diego, California, where we're coming to you, clearly not live, Friday night, May 22nd, 2015, I think he thought this was going to be like exciting and going to go over great. And it has not. It has not gone over great, and it's made me kind of sad today. It's made me kind of also sort of mad, and now I don't know, I'm getting a little numb to this whole thing because, listen, there is a chance that whoever this is, this mysterious, quote, licensee, as he will be referred to throughout the letter that we'll go over here in a second, it's possible that this person is going to dump their own money into this project, going to pay somebody to build this game, and there are going to be some Magic Girls built. And it's possible that this becomes a big pinball thing, and Magic Girl looks so great once it's actually being produced in months and months from now, years from now, because this isn't happening this year. It's possible that other people will go in and buy the game. Maybe it's going to play great. We don't know. Remember, 4 years ago, it was one thing to pre-order a game you've never played, never seen a ball move around on. A whole different kind of thought today, isn't it? So I guess it's all possible. And I believe this person, whoever this person is, probably has the best of intentions. I really do believe that. So I am not falling on the side of scam or crook or any of that. I just don't. And a lot of people will disagree with me and say it's a scheme and this and that. I don't think so. I think it was somebody with good intentions, way in over their head, who was highly respected and got too much respect, got respect in categories and areas like business that they did not deserve or probably ever earn. Someone who should have had lots of respect as a visionary of design and someone who could direct a project from the artistic side and a thinker. I think that person ended up with a lot of respect as a businessman and a manufacturer, and I think this was at a time where the industry and the hobby was a little bit naive to that, and I think that it was a long, slow snowball, and the snowball has hit the wall. And I think the person coming in to try and, quote, save this is likely, I don't know this for sure, but is likely doing this with the best of intentions. It's not a money grab, I don't believe or think, based on the numbers I'm running and what I think's at play here. I think it's somebody who really does truly want to, A, help John, because if you meet John, you hang out with John, you can't help but kind of like John. At least I couldn't. I liked John. I like John. So somebody probably feels very sorry for John in this instance, because this is, with lawsuits now officially starting up, we've seen the first lawsuit filed in a court with public court records against Zidware John and his wife, all named. I think people are probably who know John are feeling, sorry for him and hate to see that his really bad business acumen and decision making has potentially put his personal finances, his home, etc., at risk of great harm. I think that this person probably really loves pinball, I'm imagining, and really thought that this might be an opportunity where they can take what they're good at, which apparently is fixing companies, as we'll get into, and possibly having money to put into flux into a company, whatever. That was their skill, and they thought, well, that's how I can help pinball. I can help John with that. Just like I think I can help pinball by talking about it. It's the same sort of sentiment, I'm sure. It's just, I love this game. I love this art form. I love this thing. I want to do something good for it. I'm sure that's at the core where somebody's coming, because I don't see anybody doing this just thinking they're going to get rich. However, what are you guys thinking? Like offering people 50 cents on the dollar, money that people have paid in for a different game, and now you're going to say, well, you can wait for that game, and sort of allude to the fact that we have no idea what the timeline will be. It could be years and years and years. Or you can buy this other game for $16,000, game that you didn't originally buy. Or, hey, we're going to do a slightly less expensive version of that game. It's going to be around $10,000 or $12,000, and let's all be honest, probably be $12,000. And that money you gave us, we'll give you half of that money towards this other cheaper game that you didn't want. I mean, just on the basic building blocks of that pitch, I think most people would say that's a bad idea. That's not a real good pitch here. That's not going to go over well. All right, so let's take a look at this letter. And I have the background and the plan of action needed for reconfirmation and standstill. The background is just a little blurb that says, Zidware is a designer of manufacturer pinball machines, predominantly working on 3 games: Magic Girl, Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland, Alice in Wonderland Pinball. Talks about where they're headquartered. After 4 years, the company has not been able to produce one machine to deliver to its customers, so the company is unable to secure any additional operating cash. As a result of the foregoing, Zidware is facing difficulty in generating sufficient cash flow to meet its obligations as they become due. Zidware concluded that it had to have help to take the designs that have been created and get them into production, or the company would be forced to pursue a Chapter 7 bankruptcy liquidation. Plan of action. Zidware has signed an exclusive license agreement with a third-party pinball design company. I take a little bit of issue with calling someone who's never designed or built or done anything in pinball a pinball design company, but okay. Who has the business expertise, allegedly, to bring these games to production. The licensee is open to fulfilling orders from Zidware customers. They're open to fulfilling your orders that you've been waiting on, including providing credits for deposits made to Zidware. Because remember, you paid Zidware, you didn't pay this new pinball design company who's going to now license the themes, license the games. Provided that each customer reaffirm his or her interest. So you got to reaffirm your interest in getting a pinball machine for the thousands of dollars you spent. Can you do that? In obtaining the ordered products or converting to other products and providing any outstanding payment upon finalization of pricing, together with his or her commitment to stand still from bringing any action related to outstanding orders. Basically, don't sue John, or Zidware as it may be. The licensee will be hiring Zidware's founder as a consultant. So John's got a job. They're going to hire him to assist the licensee in the completion of the design of the games, because the games are not finished, apparently. And a standstill agreement is important to ensure that the consultant is not needlessly distracted by demands or litigation during this critical time. I want to throw my computer screen against the wall right now. Like, that may be the part of this whole thing that drove me the craziest. To ensure that consultant, capital C, is not needlessly distracted by demands or litigation. Needlessly? You mean I sent this guy $16,000, or, I don't care, $600 4 years ago. I was promised a game, and he's now officially said he can't build the game. There's no mystery here. There's no curtain. I can see the wizard. The wizard's naked back there. He cannot build my game. He's thrown the word bankruptcy around. And it's needless that I might distract him by demanding my money back? Or sue for it? Like, I'm legally... I mean, come on. Come on, people. Needlessly distracted by demands or litigation during this critical time. Get over yourselves. So then there's the letter. The letter from Mr. John Papaduke. May 21st, 2015. Regarding plan of action for purchasers of Magic Girl, Raza, and Alice in Wonderland. It is with great excitement. Okay, I actually also have issue with that. I mean, I guess it is with great excitement if you're really thinking this is going to go well. So, okay, I'll give you that. It is with great excitement, determination, and love for pinball that has led me to pursue and find a possible solution that can be announced to you today. No, it's you're out of money, you don't want to get sued again. I don't want that to come off wrong, because I do know that John Papaduke loves pinball. I really do. But that is not why he's pursuing to find a possible solution. I think that that is some flowery wording there. But whatever. I get it. We're all salesmen, right? I'm a salesman. He's a salesman. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you who have believed in the magical designs that have been created. I acknowledge and appreciate the faith you have in placing deposits with Zidware Inc. to deliver you incredible machines that take pinball to another level. Thank you for your patience and support. This well-deserved update will give you a good idea of where we have been and where we are headed in the future. I think that before I go any further, that there's this really weird dichotomy that goes through this whole pitch. On one hand, Zidware and John are saying, hey man, we're broke, we don't have any money, so we're going to license these games. It's not us anymore. I can't pay you your money back. It's this new company, though. They're going to build you your game. And they're going to give you your money in form of credit towards the game they're going to build. They're going to build the game. But then we're going to say where we are headed a lot. We. And because they hired me. I'm the consultant. First and foremost, my apologies for not being a better businessman. Thank you. In the past, great success was accomplished by focusing on what I do best, design and artistic direction of games. The business mechanics were left to executives at companies such as Williams Bally. Okay, so he then says basically, I don't know how to build pinball machines. Okay, we know. Clearly. And at the rate I've been going, bankruptcy would be inevitable, absent some type of corrective action. Zidware no longer has the ability to get Magic Girl into production, let alone the other two games. A copy of current financials will be available, evidencing the impossible predicament Zidware currently faces. I don't believe that, actually. I will be shocked if I see this copy of current financials. Further, the delivery of machines to my customers who have placed orders and provided deposits has always been my primary concern and a responsibility that I take very seriously. I believe that. That is probably true on a lot of levels. I don't think he knows how to do that, but I do believe that. Therefore, I have sought out a solution to bring these games into production and to benefit all purchasers who have continued to believe in me. Okay. Apologies for the lack of communication, again. However, it was best to find a workable solution first rather than to string everyone along on false hopes. At this point, I have a plan in place, etc., etc., etc. What is the plan and how will it help the purchasers of Zidware products? In a call for help, one of my customers, a businessman specializing in the restructuring of companies, realized there was no way Zidware could get this project over the finish line and into production. He was saddened, so sad, by the fact that many would suffer a loss, and it would be a black eye for the pinball industry and my reputation. Okay, so basically what I said. Somebody with some money who fancies himself good at fixing companies, felt bad for this whole situation, wanted his game, thought it was a shame all these people are going to lose this money. All legit. Hey, awesome. Who is this businessman, by the way? Why aren't we saying who this is? Why is it a secret? Anybody? Crickets? Why aren't you saying, here is John Doe. John Doe has worked in capital financing of companies for the last 25 years. Here is Nate Shivers. He has been a sales manager of multi-million-dollar territories of this. He knows how to run a business with a budget and blah, blah, blah. Here is Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson buys companies, guts them, fixes them, and makes them profitable, turns them public. He's special. Why am I not hearing anything about who this person is? Annoying. Terrible. Awful. Ill-advised. Bad move. Over the last month or so, this individual and his associates have done extensive due diligence on Zidware to determine the best plan of action. They've assembled a team of professionals capable in bringing pinball machines to production under a new, unrelated company. Okay. A new, unrelated company. I'm sorry, it's not unrelated. It's licensing all your games and hiring you as the consultant. It is directly related. But I get that you're trying to distance yourself because legally you're in a mess here. I get that, but it's not unrelated. A team of professionals capable in bringing pinball machines to production under a new related. So there's a team of people that we don't know who they are. We're not allowed to know that yet. And they are capable of bringing pinball machines to production. That is incredibly interesting, seeing as though, to my knowledge, currently in 2015, if you want to say there's teams of professionals who can bring pinball machines, plural, to production, I can think of three. I can think of Stern Pinball. I can think of Jersey Jack Pinball. And I can think of Spooky Pinball. Please correct me if I'm missing some other group of people who are capable, a team of professionals who are capable, proven capable, not just your opinion here at the 11th hour, but who are actually capable of building a pinball machine and have done that in plural, pinball machines. I mean, I guess Dutch Pinball built 5 machines. I guess I'm stretching here. There's got to be somebody else. Who am I forgetting? No, that's it. So you don't have a team of professionals capable in bringing pinball machines to production yet. You don't. You have a team that could be, possibly, we don't know who they are, we'll see. I have granted this new company, the licensee, an exclusive license for the 3 games. They will be able to take Magic Girl from its current state to the point of production, along with potential orders for Raza and Alice in Wonderland. Once these machines are produced, the licensee plans to continue and grow to become an industry leader in creative, unique pinball design. That's fantastic, because since the age of about 5, I planned to continue and grow and be an astronaut and go to Mars. What can you expect next? The licensee is now underway to complete a master prototype Magic Girl. So hold on a second. Wait a minute. The licensee is the one that's going to be completing the master prototype? I thought that was already done, A, but we saw ramp molds, which I guess they paid for. That answers that question. And B, this is really confusing because you're talking about this licensee like it's someone else, but you're the consultant directing the design of the machine. So it's this whole like thing where we're trying to divide me away from... It's like if I said... Coast2Coast Pinball is now owned by another. It's owned by another entity. Coast2Coast Pinball couldn't afford to pay their bills for their hosting because they did too many episodes, 167 episodes, too many. So they couldn't afford to host it. So somebody else now owns Coast2Coast Pinball. Now they've hired me to be the host of the show, but they are going to work really hard to get the next few episodes out, and they are going to do this whole long commentary on this mess of hundreds of thousands of dollars going on in the pinball. They will get right to you on that next show, episode 167. That's what that's like, right? But that's me, because I was hired to do this by the company that bought my podcast. Not for sale. Where was I? There's a lot of text. The group is currently in the process of negotiating with proven known quality manufacturers to get the games produced. Okay, time out. Again, I want to bring up a little thing called Medieval Madness Remake. MMR, if you will. They announced that game and sold 1,000 or more of them very quickly. And that game was being built by a company called Chicago Gaming, who had attained the license from Planetary Pinball Supply, and they were going to build these games. And then it kind of dawned on everybody like, oh my god, we have to build a whole lot of pinball machines. We can't do that. We can't do that. And what did they do? They went and hired likely one of the only 2 companies in the world that could build that many games, and that was Stern Pinball, okay? And that was a pretty big deal. So the group is currently in process of negotiating with proven known quality manufacturers. Okay, so I suppose that this could be a grammatical thing where these proven known quality manufacturers we're talking about here are not proven known quality pinball manufacturers. Maybe they are looking to hire a contract manufacturer, much like Dutch Pinball is doing, who doesn't normally build pinball machines, but builds other very complex electromechanical or electronic devices of some sort. So maybe that's what's going on here. Or, and this is my theory, I have no inside information, none. I do know this. Jersey Jack Pinball is not building these games, because I emailed Jack and he replied immediately to me, no, we are not, it's not happening. So that leaves me with Stern Pinball. Okay? Or somebody outside pinball, which that would be a nightmare in and of itself. As soon as this is contracted, so they don't even have a contract, nobody's agreed to build these machines yet. No one. Purchasers will be notified and given a forecast of the timeline to complete development as well as release dates for final product. As it stands today, the anticipated time frame until production of Magic Girl is approximately, wait for it, because when I read this sentence I was thinking, oh, he's going to say 6 months. It's going to be 6 months. It's going to take 6 months to get all this done. Approximately 2 years or sooner. 2 years. 2 years on a game that's been in development for 4 years. Yeah. As for the other two games, artwork will be under the licensee's direction, and prototypes will be forthcoming. Again, super fuzzy gray area sentence. So he's saying that the licensee now controls the art and the prototyping of the other two games. But he works for the licensee as a consultant, so I could just still be John, right? I have agreed to independently consult with the licensee for continuity to complete the pinball designs for all three games. Oh, that's what I thought. Yes, John works for the licensee, so it's still him. Got it. The time frame until production of Raza and Alice in Wonderland product is 2 to 3 years post Magic Girl production. So if you are in on one of the other two games and you don't want Magic Girl, maybe you don't like purple, you're going to wait a long time. and I'm speaking as if this is all going to happen, of course. I encourage fellow pinheads to allow this team to help make these games come to life. The licensee has already made significant investment in both time and money to get where we are today. They've acquired the licenses for these games, not motivated by profit. Now, when this says they have acquired the licenses, I wonder if they paid for them. For these games, not motivated by profit, but to make the designs a reality and forge a viable path for production of these products to Zidware customers. The only other alternative is that Zidware would be forced to file for bankruptcy, resulting in virtually nothing to the purchasers, and none of the games that we have worked on all these years will ever be produced. That's the big scary sentence. But, I mean, if anyone was being a realist and not just like fooling themselves, isn't that kind of where we were yesterday? We need patience, positive input, and support from you and all of Zidware's customers. And I'm sorry if this whole show is not that positive influence you were looking for. Once each purchaser has responded back with positive intentions, so if one person writes back like, no way, buddy, the whole thing falls apart? I don't know. Once each purchaser has responded back with positive intentions, the licensee will be formally announced. So they're not going to tell you who this is, because basically, I mean, it's clear to me, the person who's the licensee sort of hedging their bets a little bit, saying, hey, look, man, I don't want to go public until we know this is a go, because I don't want egg on my face. The licensee will be formally announced and be able to continue to move forward. However, if there are any clarification questions regarding this letter agreement, please do not contact the attorneys directly. Instead, you may send an email to magicgirlinfo, magicgirl.raza.aiw@gmail.com. And I am not joking about that email address. The licensee has already indicated they will be opening the doors to share the progress with customers and welcoming everyone with open arms, because it's a big happy party. I mean, come on. We're not going to tell you who this is until you basically say, hey, I won't sue you, and I'm either going to take a half cut on my money to get this game I maybe do or don't want, or just sign to keep going, I guess. Now it's about to get real, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get real for you. This paragraph. To be clear, there will not be any refunds, as Zidware lacks the cash reserves necessary to return any customer deposits. I mean, that's the reality here, and it's bad. It sucks. Money is gone. The people who paid money in are not going to get their money back. There is no offer here of refunds, period. The licensee is here to create and build pinball machines, and it is not responsible for Zidware's liabilities. This is John basically saying, I am off the hook. These games are now licensed by the licensee. He will build your games. I am not on the hook. Nonetheless, working together, the licensee will have the ability to produce machines, and Zidware customers will be provided credits for deposits made. We're very lucky that the licensee started down this path to help the pinball community by trying to rectify the situation. Are we? This is what we need in order for the licensee to move forward. Please take advantage of this opportunity and complete the attached agreement prepared by the attorney for the licensee. This is what is required from you in the attached agreement in order for the plan to succeed. Confirmation of your intent to complete the purchase of the ordered items by executing and returning the attached agreement so the licensee does not expend resources for customers who may not wish to complete their order. Choice A, Magic Girl, original purchasers. The licensee is already in talks with potential manufacturers, plural, so they're shopping, to create a Magic Girl Collector's Edition, limited to only 199 worldwide, for those who have already purchased or provided deposits. This is first come, first serve. Hurry, hurry, as we'll close off as soon as we reach 199 orders. Hurry, hurry. Zidware deposits will be converted to credits dollar for dollar. So basically, if you already paid for your Magic Girl, you're one of, 16? Was that the original number? I don't remember. Or you have a deposit towards it, they're moving you over to this, pretty much. That's your option. B, if you're a Raza or Alice in Wonderland purchaser, for those who have placed a deposit on the Zombie game or the Alice game, the licensee is allowing these purchasers to convert their deposits to credit towards either A, a Magic Girl Collector's Edition with a retail price of $15,995, limited to only 199 worldwide. First come, first serve. Hurry, 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 as we will close off as soon as we reach 199 orders. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Let's do some awesome math with Nate on Coast to Coast Pinball. Come on, iPhone 6, you can do it. $16,000. $16,000 times 199. $3.184 million. Just throwing that number out there for you. Zidware deposits will be converted dollar for dollar. $6,500 deposit equals 6,500 credits towards a Magic Girl Collector's Edition. Choice 2, Magic Girl Classic, to be determined, estimated at between a retail price of $9,995 to $11,995. We are offering a new edition of Magic Girl with all the same functionality and quality. Since the final product is yet to be finalized and we don't have an actual bill of materials, we can only provide the price range. Any customers interested in this option will have opportunity to confirm their purchases at time of release of actual price. Zidware deposits will be converted 1 to 2. Example, $6,500 deposit equals $3,250 in credit for this option. That's 1 to half. I'm sorry, I hate the way they worded that. So let's be real clear here. They've now announced another game, Magic Girl Classic. Don't know how much it's going to cost exactly. It may be $12,000, it may be $10,000. It's a new edition. It's going to have all the same functionality and quality. All the same functionality and quality. Well, let's say it's only $10,000, but it's $6,000 less. Well, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I'm in on the Magic Girl Collector's Edition. There's only going to be 199 of those, but this other one that you're not limiting, apparently, has all the same functionality and quality? What does my Collector's Edition have? Did you, staple a Kiss Pro to the side of my Magic Girl Collector's Edition? Why is mine $16,000 and theirs is $10,000? You're not telling me anything. But I have to sign this thing and make a decision. Oh, but I'm sorry. Hold on. Any customers interested in this option will have the opportunity to confirm their purchase at the time of release of actual price. So when you do know the price, then I can confirm if I want the $10,000 to $12,000 game and not the $16,000 game. What if I don't want that? What if it is $12,000? I say, well, boy, I'm only to $16,000. But what if they sold all 199 of the other one? Then I just get nothing and I just have to wait. I don't get it. They thought this was going to work? Did they really think this was going to work? Come on. Once you take delivery of your machine, you have an asset in hand and the ability to keep it or sell it for cash. They wrote that. They actually wrote that. You will also have the ability to sell your position. They wrote that too. Amazing. Should you wish to wait for the possible creation of a Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland or Alice in Wonderland, that option is also available. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Should you wish to wait. Number 2, the second part of this whole thing is agreement that you will not bring any action for money damages or specific performance against Zidware, the licensee, the manufacturer, or any of their directors, officers, or members during the earlier of delivery of product or 4 years. This is what we need to move forward. We ask your cooperation to support us and allow Zidware to get the licensee what is needed at this time. This is the only plan that will possibly get these machines produced. It is time sensitive as we need to move quickly. Hurry, hurry. Or I will have no choice but to pursue a Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing resulting in the liquidation of Zidware without delivery of any of the games and virtually no cash to Zidware customers. This plan is for you, the pinheads that want something that is a true work of art, quality built, that can be treasured for years to come. I've now found the right business team that is dedicated to try to get my work to the finish line and into production. Help me to help you. Help me. Hold on. That's going to be the title of the show. Help me to help you. Get what you came to Zidware for. A pinball machine that you'll be very proud of to have in your collection! Exclamation point. To our success! Exclamation point. Best personal regards. Zidware Inc. John Papaduke, President. Yeah! Well, there's that. I really hope that in the next 24, 48, 36, 72, 148 hours that somebody steps forward and has some other ideas, because this is not going to work. I really hope that these business professionals here, I almost think that maybe the plan was like sort of in like planning stage. The plan was being planned, and maybe John jumped the gun here a little bit. I know that lawsuit probably spooked him because he's going to have to go to court, and one of his customers has sued him for $30,000. That's in there somewhere on Pinside. I'm wondering if maybe he sent this out a little prematurely. They don't have anybody to build these games. Who is going to build these games? Who's taking over? Who's doing all this? Why should I trust that these new people... How do I know you didn't hire Skit B? Like, come on. Tell me something. You hired people outside of pinball to come in, and then you told me, oh, these people can build pinball machines. When virtually nobody can build pinball machines, because for the freaking 1,000th time, building pinball machines is really hard. This is ridiculous. I was glad to see something. I mean, granted, I know that the other alternative, and there are some people defending this going, hey man, what do you want? Just nothing? Just it to go away? No, I don't want that. I want other. I don't want either or. I don't want black or white. I want purple. If this new business group really thinks that they're going to excite people by saying, hey, if you send us $6,000 on Zombie Game, we'll give you $3,000 towards a cheaper version of Magic Girl that has all the same functionality, or we'll give you $6,000 towards this collector's edition that we're only going to build 199 of. I mean, come on. This sounds as ridiculous to you, friendly listeners, as it does to me, correct? Terrible. Interesting note. I've read all 1,000 of the posts on Pinside since. Pinside or Deeproot? I don't know Deeproot. Deeproot's listed on here in San Antonio, Texas. I don't know who he is. He was apparently working with John previous to this group on a plan. And he had sort of said that he wasn't going to post much on it because of the legal aspects and yada yada. But then he posted. And I don't know if this will stay on Pinside or not, but I screen capped it. Deeproot wrote this, which I think is just interesting, if nothing else. This was our informal plan that's not under any non-disclosure agreement. John was to turn over Magic Girl and Raza by July, in whatever condition they were in at that time. Then John would, quote, disappear for 2 years working on Alice in Wonderland. With Raza for a release at 692 units by October 2016, Magic Girl at 1,130 units by 2017, and Alice in Wonderland at 2,000 units in early 2018, all vendors paid by June 2015. All pre-sales funded by February 2016 for those that chose to not accept delivery, with refunds in part or credits for MSRP less than the amounts John arbitrarily chose at time of machine delivery. Sort that out in your own head, Mom. I'm too burnt right now. Penalty for refund would have been loss of certain, quote, privileges, which will remain undisclosed as it is now moot. No real point to worry about any of that now. I wish these new investors the best. They are going to need it. Lastly, we understand that by disclosing this information, we will open up ample opportunities for many to bash or criticize. No one else, including the few manufacturers today, came up with a solution to completely resolve the J-pop dilemma. But at the end of the day, not only was the plan realistic, I don't agree with that. That's just my commentary. Not only was the plan realistic, it would have made everyone whole and released 3 amazing designs into a deserving community, proving unlicensed themes can still match or exceed licensed ones. Bash away. All right, Deep Root, I'm not going to bash away. I'm just going to say that I don't think you know the pinball business very well. If you thought you were going to sell... Hold on a second. Hang on. We're going to do more math with Nate. Friday night math with Nate. 2,000 Alice in Wonderlands... plus 1,130 Magic Girls, plus, where is it? I lost it. 692, I don't know why they chose that number. Retro Atomic Zombie Venturelines. You thought you were going to sell 3,822 Zidware-designed John Papaduke pinball machines at God knows what price by 2018. Based on pre-orders to pay back people who want refunds, and you say that this is the only realistic plan? That plan is not realistic. You are not going to sell 3,800 John Papaduke games in the current state of affairs. Come on. What are we doing? So I get that there's some investors who have some ideas here, and people want to see the money, not be just wasted on these games. But these are not the answers. I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm just commenting on what's been thrown out there. And so far, everything I've seen falls well short of realistic, good, or just doable, I guess. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe that'll be next episode. I'll try and figure out the answers. The whole thing is frustrating. We should be talking about the Walking Dead code. We should be talking about the United States winning the Epstein Cup at the World Championships, 122 over Europe's 112. We should be talking about our own Josh Sharp currently sitting tied for number 2 in the IFPA 12 World Championship, 4 points behind Jorian Engelbrechtsson, tied with Frank Bona. Kaylee George sitting number 4 position. Mats Runston tied for 4th with Kaylee, Zach Sharp, Chris Stevens, Daniele Asiari, all tied at 6. We should be talking about that tonight. But instead, we're talking about this ongoing saga of Zidware, J-Pop, his Magic Girl, and this really underwhelming attempt at fixing it. Because this isn't going to work. I wish I had more positive things to say. I wish I had better solutions. I'm sorry I don't.